Have you ever felt like someone was pulling your strings, making you do things you wouldn't normally do? Or maybe you've wondered if there's a hidden rule book to getting what you want in life. A rule book that nice guys don't get to read. Well, today we're diving deep into a world where power, influence, and human nature collide. We're talking about the connection between a 500-year-old book, The Prince by Niccolò Machiavelli, and the modern, often controversial field of dark psychology. Let's be clear from the start. This isn't about turning you into a villain. It's about pulling back the curtain to understand the mechanics of influence, both for self-defense and for ethical application. Think of it like learning how a car works. You can use that knowledge to be a better, safer driver, or you can use it to drive recklessly. The knowledge itself is neutral. It's the intention that matters. So, are you ready to understand the game so you don't get played? Let's get into it. First, who was this Machiavelli guy? Imagine 15th century, Florence, Italy. It was a chaotic place, a hotbed of political backstabbing, shifting alliances, and constant power struggles. Machiavelli was a diplomat, a political advisor, right in the thick of it. He saw firsthand what made leaders succeed and what made them fail spectacularly. After his political career fell apart, he was exiled and wrote The Prince as a sort of job application to get back in the game. A guide for rulers on how to acquire and maintain power. Now, why was this book so shocking? Because Machiavelli threw the traditional rulebook out the window. Before him, leadership advice was all about being virtuous, just, and loved. Machiavelli came along and said, "Look, that's nice in theory, but in the real world, it'll get you crushed." He argued that a ruler's primary duty is the stability and security of the state. And to achieve that, sometimes you have to get your hands dirty. He famously said it's better to be feared than loved, if you can't be both. Why? Because love is fickle, but fear is constant. People might break promises made out of love, but the fear of punishment keeps them in line. This is a core idea that echoes through dark psychology. So, what exactly is dark psychology? It's the study of the darker side of human nature, the tactics of manipulation, persuasion, and control that people use to get what they want at others' expense. It includes concepts you might have heard of, like gaslighting, emotional manipulation, narcissism, and psychopathy. These aren't just personality traits, they are strategies. Machiavellianism, in fact, is 1/3 of what psychologists call the dark triad of personality traits, alongside narcissism and psychopathy. A person high in Machiavellianism is strategic, calculating, and willing to use deception to achieve their goals. They see people not as friends or colleagues, but as pawns on a chessboard. Sound familiar? They believe the ends justify the means. If a little lie gets them a big promotion, they see it as a smart move, not a moral failure. Let's connect the dots with some concrete examples. One of Machiavelli's key principles is to appear virtuous, but be prepared to act otherwise. In modern terms, this is all about managing your public image. A manipulative boss might publicly praise teamwork and collaboration, creating a facade of being a great leader. But behind closed doors, they might pit employees against each other, steal ideas, and take all the credit. They appear to be a saint, but their actions are purely self. They understand that perception is reality for most people. Another Machiavellian tactic is divide and conquer. A ruler, or a modern manipulator, knows that a united group is a threat, so they sow seeds of distrust. In an office, this could be a coworker who selectively shares information, creating in-groups and out-groups. They might tell you one thing and another colleague, something slightly different, causing confusion and suspicion. While everyone is busy being wary of each other, the manipulator is consolidating their own power, completely unopposed. Then there's the classic carrot and stick approach, but with a dark twist. Machiavelli advised using cruelty swiftly and decisively, but benefits should be given out slowly, over time. Why? A single, brutal act establishes fear and authority quickly. Once that's done, you can switch to giving out small rewards. Each little favor, each small bonus, makes people feel grateful and dependent. It keeps them hooked, always hoping for the next reward. And it makes the memory of the initial cruelty fade. We see this in toxic relationships, where a partner might have an outburst of anger, followed by days of love bombing and gifts, creating a confusing and addictive cycle of abuse. Let's talk about a really subtle one. Gasp. While Machiavelli didn't use the term, the concept is there. He advised that a prince should be a great pretender and dissembler. In other words, a master of making people doubt their own reality. Gaslighting is exactly that. It's when someone messes with your head so much that you start to question your own memory, perception, and sanity. A manager might deny ever making a promise, saying, "I never said that. You must be misremembering." Over time, the victim starts to think, maybe I am crazy. Maybe I am unreliable. This erodes their confidence and makes them easier to control. So, how do we defend ourselves against these tactics? The first and most powerful step is awareness. Understanding these strategies is like getting a pair of X-ray glasses. You start to see the hidden motives behind people's actions. When a coworker starts spreading gossip, you don't just see it as drama. You see it as a potential divide and conquer tactic. When a leader's words and actions consistently don't match, you recognize the appear virtuous strategy at play. The second step is to trust your gut. Our intuition is a powerful defense mechanism. If a situation feels off, if someone makes you feel constantly confused, anxious, or small, don't dismiss that feeling. That's your internal alarm system telling you that you might be dealing with manipulation. Don't let someone gaslight you into believing your feelings are invalid. Third, maintain strong personal boundaries. Manipulators prey on people who have trouble saying no. They will push and push until they find your limit. Be clear and firm about what you will and will not accept. If a boss asks you to do something unethical, you have the right to refuse. If a friend constantly uses emotional blackmail, you have the right to create distance. Remember, no is a complete sentence. Fourth, focus on actions, not words. As we've seen, Machiavellian tactics rely heavily on creating a false image with words. A manipulator will promise you the world, but their actions will tell the real story. Judge people by what they do, not by the beautiful speeches they make. Consistency between words and actions is a sign of integrity. A lack of it is a major red flag. Finally, build a strong support network. Isolating the victim is a key goal of any manipulator. They want you to feel alone, like they are the only person you can rely on. By maintaining healthy relationships with friends, family, and trusted colleagues, you create a reality check. You have people you can talk to who can offer an outside perspective and confirm whether what you are experiencing is normal or not. It's crucial to remember that this knowledge is a double-edged sword. By understanding the strategies laid out in The Prince and how they manifest as dark psychology tactics, you're no longer an unknowing pawn in someone else's game. You become a conscious player, able to navigate the complexities of human interaction with wisdom and strength. It's not about becoming cynical or distrustful of everyone. It's about saving your trust for those who have earned it through consistent, honorable actions. So, the next time you get a strange feeling about an interaction, or you see someone expertly playing people against each other, you'll know what you're looking at. You'll see the ghost of Machiavelli, whispering his timeless, ruthless advice, and you'll be prepared. Thanks for diving deep into this fascinating and complex topic with me today. If you found this useful for understanding the world around you a little better, hit that like button and subscribe for more content that pulls back the curtain on human nature. Stay aware, stay strong, and I'll see you in the next video.